Hello, welcome to this week's episode number 3 of Bliss in Real Estate, or Finding Bliss in Real Estate. I am here in my beautiful backyard in Placerville and just really enjoying the gorgeous weather that we've got going on today. And I just wanted to spend a little bit of time chatting with you about the market. I think it's about time that we talk about why we're at where we're at and where we've been in the past and why things are so different today than they were a year ago, 2-3 years ago. So let's start with, for the last several years, we've been in what's termed a seller's market. So what is a seller's market? In a nutshell, it means that the technicality is fewer than 6 months of inventory available, i.e. if all the homes that are on the market were on the market and nothing new came on, all of those homes would sell within 6 months. And we have variations of that, right? So 6 months is very much, I would say, kind of in a moderate market, probably a more balanced market than seller's market, versus anything that's under 4 months is much more of a seller's market, meaning the sellers have the upper hand. The sellers get the negotiability. And the closer we get to no months of inventory, the more negotiability power that the sellers have and the less that the buyers have. So of course, back in 2007, 8, 9, it was a buyer's market. There was far more months of inventory and far more homes on the market than there were home buyers. So let's talk about kind of what happened last year that has so severely impacted how things have shifted to this market that we're in currently today here in spring of 2021. So obviously coronavirus happened, and that is the major impactor of why we're in a heavy seller's market. So why is that? You would think that the buyers would have gotten just as scared as the sellers. But what really happened was when we could no longer show homes and we didn't know what was going to happen, in particular in California, every state had different rules. Honestly, every county had different rules to start with. But in California, we were lucky because within about 2 weeks, the Association of Realtors, California statewide, said, this is what we're going to do. You can show homes if the seller's willing to, and everybody signs off on basically a safety agreement. So as soon as that came about, my phone started ringing with buyers. So it was the beginning of April, and that is the normal time of year that my phone is ringing for sellers, and I'm getting just lots of buyer calls. And so when that happened, I was able to show the homes that were on the market. But in the meantime, there were many sellers who either took their home off the market because they were on, but then they were unsure what to do, or they were scared about having somebody come in their house. Or 2, the ones that were supposed to come on the market chose not to, at least a large majority of them. And so where we normally get this upward line of more and more homes on the market in March, April, May, June, we kind of went like this. We went up, we had kind of the spike in March and then kind of an even line. And I'm going to show that to you in a minute, but I wanted to sort of show you just with my finger. And so when that happened, it meant that we had this huge spike in buyers. And why did we have the spike in buyers? The government decided to encourage home buying by making sure that the interest rate stayed low. So they actually dropped a little bit at the time, which encouraged more buyers to come out and buy. And it worked. It really worked. So many people were giving me a call and giving all the realtors a call that they wanted to go see this house and buy this house, and they were ready to do it. And they could afford more home than they ever could before because the interest rates were low. So more buyers, less sellers. And really, we just kept waiting. We kept thinking, well, eventually the people are going to want to sell. But when you think about the security position of being a homeowner, it's much more difficult to say, okay, I'm going to pick up everything in my life and move out of state, or buy the bigger house, or downsize now when I'm uncertain about the economy and getting sick and all these different things. So instead, we found that sellers really didn't come on the market. And so we were starting to see multiple offers pretty much in April on. And, I'd say 2 to 5 offers was kind of average. Of course, there were exceptions. And then in October, when we typically have a drop off in listings anyways, we started seeing the severity even more. And come December, we really had very few houses on the market compared to how many buyers we had on the market. We had 60% fewer listings on the market in December than we did the December before. So that means that even in a month that is typically very few listings, we now had even fewer. And yet we had this huge pool of buyers. And that was really when things got crazy, crazy. And we started seeing on average 4 to 5 offers, but all the stories of like 20 offers, 25 offers. Everybody's probably heard the story. There was a house in Carmichael that got 125 offers. Oh my gosh. I feel for that realtor. I know her actually. So that was kind of what has happened over the last year. But what's normal? And are we going to get back to normal? So I'm going to share my screen. I have a little bit of graph to look at. So I hope you guys like graphs. And if you don't, I'll make it really easy on you. I promise. I love graphs. I love graphs. I love math. I just always have. So here you go. We can see this is the trends. I'm going to pop over here. This is the trends for El Dorado County only. And it's going to be similar for Sac County or Placer County, but I'm sitting in El Dorado County. I want to show you guys this in particular. So graph number 1 here, the light green, this is over the last 3 years. So March of 2018 to March of 2021, the light green are how many houses were for sale. The dark green is how many homes sold each month. And the red line is how many houses were going pending. So you can see kind of over the last couple of years, 2018, we had a lot of houses go up for sale and then it dropped off in the winter. And then in 2019, in the spring, we had houses come on the market, but less than 18. So we were already seeing a decrease in homes coming on the market. Then last year, right when we were supposed to see more, we didn't. So here's that plateau I was talking about. And it's far fewer homes on the market than the year before and way fewer homes on the market than in 2018. But then if you compare how many homes sold each month, you can see that in 2018 and 2019, it almost followed an identical trend line. I mean, really, numbers were almost exactly the same. It's crazy how similar it was from month to month. And when you see in 2020, we get the reverse trend. There's no homes for sale, but they are all selling and then some. And so how can you have more homes sell than go new on the market? It's because these homes that are selling are sucking up the inventory from previous months for sale. And so it got real extreme here in November and December. I mean, there just were not very many houses for sale and more than that sold. And we've actually seen a continuing line since last July that more houses have sold than have actually come up new for sale each month. And so that's when you start seeing all the signs. It's why we have the multiple offers. And so what I'm going to share with you is if you're thinking about selling, I know it's a little scary because you may or may not know how you're going to get into your next house. But if nobody comes on the market to sell, then there are no homes to buy. So come on the market to sell if you're interested, because you will sell with multiple offers. You will likely get far over asking price, and you will get favorable terms to help you get into your new house and make it less painful. Of course, if you work with somebody who's experienced, they can really walk you through all that. So what does this mean for our price per square foot over the last couple of years? So we really, and I remember feeling this over 2018 and into 2019, we had a little bit of a raise, a little bit of a price raise. But it was a little slow in our county in 2019 in particular. I remember having a bit of a hard time selling some listings up in Pollock Pines. Of course, we had been hit with the insurance stuff, which I'll talk about in another episode, but that really affected us in our county. And so prices didn't go up very much and homes were selling for a slower amount of time, which I'll show in a minute. But then all of a sudden, look at this. We start seeing a creep up at the beginning of this year anyways. And then we go from an average price per square foot of around $240 to, in our entire county, somewhere between $280 and $300 per square foot. That is a large percent change. In 1 year, it's 10%. And then if you look at current versus same month 3 years ago, we've gone up over 30% in 3 years. So current versus, what did I want to say? We went up 3% in the last month. We've gone up 20% in the last year total overall. So really 20% in our county pricing wise. And I know price per square foot isn't everything, but it gives you a really good idea of the pricing trends. So just know that prices have gone up, and most of it, look at that, in the last 6 months. In the last 6 months. I mean, we definitely had some good upward trajectory here, but then in the last 6 months, we saw the most of the gain. So what does that mean for days on market? Where were we for days on market before? How long can you expect to be on the market in general? In the past, you can see average for our county, depending on time of year, was pretty much between 30 and 50 days. This is average. So unfortunately on here won't show median, which would be wonderful. But it does mean that if your average is 50 days, there's probably several homes that are at 100 days, which is 3.5-ish months. And then there's many other homes that are under 20 days. And you could see that kind of stayed the same. It was a little bit quicker in 19, but barely, like pretty much the same trend line. And then boom, 2020, dropping. And we had a little bit of fluctuation, probably because we're sucking up homes that had been on the market a while right here, and then dropping some more. And so I would say we're on average here under 20 days. Most homes that are priced reasonably, so the price reasonably and the condition is reasonable, are actually selling within a week, and we're having bidding wars on them. And again, that can be scary on the buy side, but if you're working with a realtor who can set up the expectations for you, there are strategies to help you win. There are strategies so that you know what to expect, and getting the house that is really going to work best for you. So just know that these stats may look a little scary, even if you're buying or if you're selling, but that really we can help you out. Okay, so I'm going to stop this share and come back to you guys here. And so just wanted to say thank you so much for following along. I hope that this market insight helps you a little bit. Oh, I meant to mention, where do you think we're going, or where do I think that we're going? It's a bit hard to tell. I think that we have a lot of pent up inventory. To me, that would mean I'm speaking with people, and I know other realtors are too, who want to sell, who have wanted to sell, and are thinking about doing it in the next couple months. So I think that's coming, but I think it's going to sort of dribble out little bit by little bit. I don't think we're going to all of a sudden get a ton of listings. I will mention this morning, more new listings between Folsom and Pollock Pines than I've seen in more than 6 months, probably in more than a year. So maybe some people are finally doing it. Thank you. And what does it mean for buyers? It just means that for right now, probably for the next 5-6 months, we are going to continue to see not that many homes for sale, still see some bidding wars, and just knowing that, you know, you probably will be one of multiple offers. But here's the good news. If you just put in the fight now, you're actually going to save yourself money in the long run, because of course the prices are going up and the interest rates have actually gone up a little bit. Still very affordable. I mean, high 3s is still nothing to write home about. It's as in like nothing to be worried about. You still have lots of buying power. And it coordinates well with our prices. But the longer you wait to get in on something, the longer you're paying rent or your current mortgage, and the longer you're letting prices go up. Because right now we're seeing a trend of 2 to 3% per month, depending on the area. And so may as well get in now versus waiting 4, 5, 6 months. So I do think that this trend is going to continue for a while. I'm hoping that we start seeing some more regular seasonality come next spring. I I'm also really praying that we do get some additional listings on the market this summer. And there are signs of that. I just don't think it's going to be to the levels of 2019 or 2018. But I do think that we're seeing more for sale now. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please write them down below. We will definitely make sure to respond. If you'd like to talk to me directly about your scenario, I'd love to help you out. I can be reached at 530-503-5225, or you can email me, Morgan Larson at blissreteam.com. And we would love it if this is helpful information to you to subscribe below so that you'll continue to get these episodes in the future. Thanks so much. Talk to you guys soon.